As of August 1st, all Canadian dogs entering the U.S. will need certification they've been vaccinated against rabies, and the forms need to be signed by a vet within 30 days of travel time. Veterinarian Enid Stiles joins us. She is the past president of the Canadian Veterinary Medical Association. So, Enid, rabies vaccination has long time been a requirement for dogs entering the U.S. I mean, why the need now for this certification?
Well, I mean, it often happens like this. Something bad happens and then we react. So basically, the CDC has reacted to some cases of rabies that have come into the United States from outside of the United States. And this is specifically dog rabies. That's important to note. And so as a result, they really wanted to control that as much as possible, and they're doing that by increasing these regulations.
Okay. I mean, are we also noticing this more? Because I've been hearing a lot of stories of people wanting to adopt dogs from international rescues and things like that. I gather you were seeing that more too.
Yeah, so certainly that is a factor. It was kind of getting a little bit out of hand. Animals were coming into the United States, into Canada, from various countries around the world where we have endemic canine rabies. So there's a lot of rabies in these countries. And we just don't have strong enough regulations and ways in which we can keep that from coming into our country. So both Canada and the United States have made the regulations a little bit more strict for importation of dogs, but certainly the United States has taken it a step further.
So what is this going to mean for Canadians who regularly travel with their dogs, like snowbirds, for example?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I don't want people to panic. It sounds like we're getting ready to panic, but we should not panic. It is going to be possible to travel with your dog, and it is going to be possible to travel for your dog for the length of that period of rabies vaccine, which might be 1 year or up to 3 years. So we don't want you to panic. It's going to be possible. I think some of the uncertainties right now are that on our side in Canada is that our CFIA, which is our government, those officials at this time, it looks like they're going to need to certify and officiate the documents that the veterinarians prepare with respect to rabies vaccination. And if that is the case, we are worried there could be some delays. So as a result, we really want people to just make sure their dogs are microchipped and have rabies vaccines, and they were done in that order, and are up to date on everything else. And then as we hear more in the coming weeks, you might be needing to start filling in your forms if you're planning on going anywhere to the United States as of August 1st.
Okay, and then how much time do people need? Because if you're not sure about where the CFIA is at.
Well, I think, again, we don't want people to panic, because if they panic now, when everybody goes in, gets their forms filled out by their vets and drops them off at the CFIA, no one's going to get those forms filled in. So I think if you're going to be traveling in the fall, don't worry too much. Just, again, make sure those few things are up to date, or just ask your vet if you are good with your microchip and rabies vaccine. But don't go get your forms filled in. But those that are planning on traveling in August, right now, we don't have any choice but to follow what the CDC guidelines are. And those documents not only need to be signed by the veterinarian, but also by an official veterinarian of the CFIA.
Okay, we may have about 30 seconds left. What's your main message for travelers who want to take their dogs to the U.S.?
So my main message to travelers that want to take their dogs is, if you're going to be doing it late this summer or early in the fall, first thing first, make sure your dog has got a microchip and your rabies vaccine is up to date. That's going to be critical as far as any of the papers that need to be filled in our form.
All right. And of course, microchipping and the vaccination, totally safe. Enid Stiles, thank you so much for breaking this down for us.
You're very welcome.